1 vs 100 is over, a Deus Ex book, and the Medal of Honor beta. I'm Dan Resler, it's the 17th of July, and this is Gamer Update. I apologize in advance, this video is going to have to be shorter than normal for two reasons. First of all, there's not a lot of news going on, and second, even though I'm talking like this, I feel like this, because I got my wisdom teeth taken out and it hurts a lot. Let's start the news off on a high note. Breach has been delayed to 2011. That's a bad thing. If you don't want to remember what Breach is, it's an Xbox Live Arcade game with an awesome destruction engine. Unfortunately, there was apparently too many Xbox Live Arcade games coming out at the time they wanted to release it, so they pushed it back to 2011. So that kind of sucks, but guess what? If you already have bought Battlefield Bad Company 2 on Steam, then you already, right now, like as we speak, have access to the Medal of Honor beta. Early reports say the beta doesn't have a whole lot of features to it, but hey, you get it early and it's free, so quit complaining. If you remember those Bright Falls videos for Alan Wake, it's essentially like that, except for Dead Rising, and way more Japanese. Dang it, telephone. Telephone, shut up. I'm trying to talk to the internet. On a sad note, Microsoft's 1 vs 100 will not be going into a third season, so there will be no more 1 vs 100. I never actually played 1 vs 100. I don't know, am I just like that lazy and stupid to like not look up the times when I could play it? I don't know, I just never figured it out. I can't speak because my lips are broken. Apparently the development team behind 1 vs 100 wanted to move on to new projects, and that wasn't possible while maintaining 1 vs 100 in the first place, so they had to move on. Oh well, 1 vs 100, we salute you. Squishing my head. Red Dead Redemption made a ton of money, and just like any other normal company that just had a giant influx of cash, they laid off 40 people. Really? You laid off 40 people? That's kind of a jerk thing to do, guys. You just made a ton of money, you don't lay people off. Nothing quite like a penicillin, ibuprofen, and chocolate shake, is there? Cheers. Tim Schafer's development studio, Double Fine Productions, has decided that instead of devoting a bunch of time and manpower at a single project like they did with the recent Brutal Legend, they've decided to break up the studio into 4 different projects. Each of the games will have a much smaller scale than normal, but they'll also be a lot more focused than Brutal Legend was. Also, each of the 4 games will be headed up by a different person, so they should each have a very distinct style about them. I think this is great, because Double Fine's games are usually really good for like 2 hours, and then they tend to drag on and repeat themselves, so if they can cut it down to just the core stuff, these games should be awesome. I have literally no information on how this came about, but here is a picture of what appears to be a Sonic brand of Yams. Yeah. Sega went there. So if you haven't been following the Real ID fiasco that's been going on the Blizzard forums for a while, basically I'll bring you up to speed really fast. What Blizzard wanted people to do is be more accountable on their forums, so they attached their Real ID name, which is, by the way, their actual name, to their forum post, rather than their username or their handle or whatever they wanted to be called. This, while being, more accountable, is also really scary because everyone has your actual name. So the internet did what the internet always does whenever their anonymity is at risk, and they emailed the ESRB en masse about privacy concerns. So naturally, the ESRB couldn't respond to each of those emails individually, so they did what every big corporation does when they get a bunch of emails. They sent a mass reply, except they put everyone's email that they were sending this new mass reply to in the to box, which means that everyone who got that email could see everyone else's email address, thus breaching the privacy of every single person on the list. You think your privacy's at risk? Well, I'll just send your email to several hundred people. How's that sound? So yeah, Blizzard decided not to go through with the Real ID thing in the first place, but the email fiasco, hilarious. If you pre-order the sure to be disappointing next game in the Sonic franchise, Sonic Colors, at GameStop, you will get this Sonic hat, which no self-respecting person on Earth would wear. The previous Deus Ex games have been known for their masterful storytelling. Storytelling? That's what goes on in books, so the next Deus Ex game, Deus Ex Human Revolution, will have a novel correspondent coming out sometime next year. Bungie confirmed earlier this week that Master Chief will be in Halo Reach. He's not the person you're playing as, but he's in there at some point. The developer of Gravity Crash will be reviving the old Oddworld franchise, which a bunch of people love, and I've played, and it's not that good, and I don't understand why people like it. I'm sure it must have seemed really cool back in the day, but it's not that good, guys. So Plants vs. Zombies is coming to Xbox Live Arcade, and this time it comes with a versus mode and co-op mode, which are both exciting. You can't tell how excited I am? Look at my face. I'm majorly excited. So since there's not a lot of real gaming news this week, I will leave you with the most epic fake trailer ever. Here is a snippet of God of War if God of War was a Michael Cera film.
Did you ever reach that point in your life where you realized the gods you worshipped as a kid weren't your gods anymore?
I want to set things right.
War does funny things to a man. You can't see the truth. without opening your eyes.
Yeah, kind of amazing. If you want the whole video, there's a link in the doobly-doo. Alright, I'm gonna go writhe in self-remorse. Y'all have a good week. I will see you next week, internet.